Kenya's Gold.
We are back at it again this Wednesday, fully psyched up right here at Kenya's Gold, ready to do that thing that we do best on a daily, which is unpacking all matters that concern food systems and our ecosystems as well. And this is quite an interesting week because we are unpacking new agri-sectors. Yesterday we did introduce you to maize farming in Kenya. Tukachoma mahindi hapa kwa studio.
Kabisa.
All right, very interesting. And today we will be unpacking a new agri-sector. Please stick around with us from now all the way until 7 p.m. A very good evening, viewers, and thank you so much for joining us from whichever part of the country that you are watching us from. We do have a great show lined up for you. My name is Violleta Ngina.
Habari za wakati huu, jina langu ni Emmanuel Terer. Karibu sana katika kipindi cha Kenya's Gold, kipindi ambacho kinakufunza mengi kabisa kuhusiana na masuala ya kilimo. Tunasafiri mabonde kwa milima, vile vile katikati ya wanyamapori, kuhakikisha kwamba unapata nafasi ya kusoma kabisa. Kama kawaida tunakudadavulia ile yote ambayo unahitaji wewe, dakika 60 uchambuzi makala mbalimbali kuhusiana na kilimo. Basi salia papo hapo, kisimbuzi chako kibaki runinga Citizen, kwa sababu lazima usome, kalamu yako karatasi, andika, tekeleza baadaye.
All right, now moving on to the agenda of the day. Wednesday, as is the norm, we do focus on animal farming in Kenya. Anything that does pertain your livestock, small ruminants, large ruminants, we do discuss them extensively right here on the program. And after several months of learning so much about sheep farming in Kenya, we did put a wrap on that agri-sector last week by having a great baraza with different experts and sheep farmers from different corners of the country. Now, moving on to what we do have in store for you today, we have received several tweets from different people across our social media platforms. One of those tweets being, hey, we are following from Uganda on Kenya's Gold. We need more programs on livestock farming because we are cattle keepers. And because right here at Kenya's Gold, this program is for you. We'll listen to you, and you are a very integral part of this program. As from today, we will be focusing on cattle farming in Kenya. Now, there are different breeds. We will be taking it one breed at a time, and the breed that is opening this journey series for us is Sahiwal. What is so unique about this breed? You get to find out about that and more in our Gold feature coming right up. Take a look.
Habari za wakati huu, unavyoona nipo katikati ya breed ambaye tunamuita Sahiwal. Tunaanza safari kabisa kuhusiana na ng'ombe huyu. Ni wewe kusalia nasi na kutufuatilia ili upate kusoma sana, lakini nikufahamishe kwamba sikufika hapa tu, bali nimepitia katika milima, mabonde, katikati ya wanyamapori ili upate kusoma na sisi kabisa. Tunakuenzi kama wanafunzi wetu. Wewe ni kuandamana nasi hadi tufike tamati kabisa kuhusiana na makala ambayo tutakufunza kuhusiana na Sahiwal. Huyu mnyama alitoka wapi? Anakula namna gani? Anazaa namna gani? Wakati anashika mimba, je, anakunywa maji namna gani? La kufurahisha mno, nitamuhoji mkulima ambaye ana utaifa mara mbili, Kenya na Uingereza. Tatuelekeza kabisa kuhusiana na Sahiwal, alianza wapi, na baadaye tupate hatima yake. Kwako ni kusalia nasi kwa sababu hapa ni darasa. Twende kazi, usome na nami. Habari yako?
Nzuri sana.
So unaelewa Swahili?
Kidogo.
Okay, nafurahi sana. Naomba uniambie jina lako, kisha uniambie hapa ni wapi.
Sawa. Jina langu ni Bella, na hapa ni El Karama Wildlife Conservancy. Karibu sana.
Nashukuru sana. When you say El Karama, would you kindly give me a brief history of El Karama?
El Karama, my father, who was born in Kenya, came here in 1963. That was at independence. Some other people were leaving at that time, but my father believes in Kenya and he loves livestock. So that's when he came to this Shamba El Karama. The word El Karama is actually Arabic Swahili, and it means a precious possession, a thing of honor, and an answer to prayer. So that's why my dad decided to keep that name for this place. He introduced livestock, that's his passion. He started with Baran breed and with local Zebu breed. But after time, he bought some pure Sahiwal bulls. Sahiwal is a breed that comes from Pakistan, and they were being imported to Kenya at that time. I think the first ones came in 1939. Then they continued to bring them in through the 50s and even into the 60s. So my dad was able to purchase some from other people who'd imported them. And he started breeding those bulls with the local Zebu cows and the Baran cows, so that gradually he built up a herd of Sahiwals. He went pole, but he managed to register a Sahiwal herd, I think, during the early 80s. And he's never regretted having the Sahiwals. Okay. So he did pass away in about 2010, and we have continued with the Sahiwals, and we're very proud of the Sahiwals, and we're very happy to be still Sahiwal breeders in Kenya.
Okay. Since the time that you took over from your dad, how has it been?
I had a lot to learn, because when my dad was here, I was in university, I was living in Nairobi, working in Nairobi, so when I came, I did have to learn a lot. I tend to learn the hard way by experience. So, but I've really enjoyed it. We've been very happy to have these cattle. They're popular in Kenya. We have a very good market, and we feel that they're a valuable breed for Kenya particularly, as well as for other African countries and many parts of the world, but especially Kenya.
Why?
Yes.
Are you still maintaining and keeping Sahiwal?
Well, we find that Kenyans really like Sahiwals. There's a good market. I think the Sahiwal is a dual-purpose breed. It has beef and it has milk. These cows, okay, they don't have as much milk as a pure dairy, like a Holstein, a Friesian, an Ayrshire, but they have more milk than other Zebu cattle, and they also have beef. You can see they're quite strong and sturdy, not so bony like a normal dairy cow, and they're very suited to this kind of climate condition where they have to graze. Now there's good grass. There isn't always so much grass here. They can also survive well during droughts. They can tolerate high temperatures. They can tolerate not so much water. So they're very hardy cattle, and people love them for that ability to have the milk and the beef, and also for the way they look. We really love this colour, and I think a lot of my fellow Kenyans also love the way these cows look. Not only that, but Sahiwals are excellent for crossbreeding with other breeds. So for people that are into dairy, a Sahiwal crossed with any kind of dairy cow, in my experience, really brings a lot of improvement, a lot of hardiness to that dairy breed, less feed consumption. And then again, you can cross them with beef producers, other pure beef producing cattle that are faster producing. Then you can get excellent beef crosses. And again, they bring the hardiness so that those crosses can survive in these kind of semi-arid and arid environments, which the pure beef or pure dairy cows would struggle with.
Okay, let's now delve deep into some of the traits, zile characteristics ambazo tunaangalia wakati nakwenda kununua Sahiwal.
Sahiwal is a large Zebu breed. We'd expect it to be a reasonable size and a reddish-brown colour, although the colour can vary from black all the way to beige is acceptable, but normally they're this nice reddish, deep reddish or golden brown colour. The cows should have a good udder because they're expected to produce a reasonable amount of milk. They have a hump because they're a Zebu breed. The ears are long and the tail is long in Sahiwal, and the head has a shape that's said to be coffin shape. It comes out of the forehead and then down, so it should be a bit convex instead of concave. With the bulls, the shoulders are often black, the head and the legs, the extremities. The skin should be black, the nose, the tail tuft, ideally. For me, I look especially for fitness in cattle. I like ones that can walk a long distance, that have a long life, and are good doers. That means they'll do good even in a drought, or they won't lose conditions so fast.
What would be the biggest danger if I miss this characteristic?
There's been a problem with availability of Sahiwal genes in Kenya because a lot of Sahiwals were brought, like I said, from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and we've not had a lot of semen coming in since that time. So to maintain a herd of pure Sahiwal is not easy. You need a bit of herd size to prevent a lot of inbreeding and careful record keeping. So I think there's probably quite a lot of Sahiwals that are not very pure, and others which might be overbred, as in inbred. So they might lose some of the strength and vigour. I think if you go for those physical features and an animal looks healthy and strong and the right kind of colour, then you're probably doing fine. Some Sahiwals are also registered with the Kenya stud book, so that is a way to be sure if somebody really wanted to be sure that they're getting a pure Sahiwal, or they want to know exactly how much percentage is Sahiwal in a particular animal. Looking for something which is registered could be helpful. I would encourage people to, if you want to breed Sahiwal, maybe like my dad did, he bought the pure bulls and he just started using them on cows, choosing cows which look right, and then you come pole to a pure breed.
How do you control inbreeding SL Karama?
So we try to keep track of which cattle are breeding together. So every animal is marked with a brand number. We assign them that number at birth, and we have a certain system based on when they're born and so on. So we can avoid close relatives breeding, and we try to keep tags on every time a bull mates with a cow, so that when the calf is born we can know the father. And also we have to keep a large number of cattle to avoid inbreeding. So we have a large bull herd. People normally don't like to see us keeping bulls away from the market, but it's very important if you're not to have inbreeding, because you must be able to have just a few calves from all the different bulls and make sure that they're not breeding with their siblings, their close relatives or their mother. So also we look to get semen, and we've managed to do that a few times, and we're really looking forward to some semen. In fact, this year there's been a promise of semen coming from India, so we're very excited to get that, so that we can get some new genes in here.
How do you verify then that this semen is of good quality?
There's an organisation called CAGRIC. They're in charge of overseeing that, I believe, so we're trusting that they'll do a good job for us.
Okay.
Alternative, which would be very nice, would be to go there and choose bulls ourselves, but I'm hoping sometime in the future to do that, maybe with a group of other Kenyan farmers. There is semen at Kibeti, Sahiwal semen, and I believe that if you contact Kibeti, you can get that. You then need somebody to administer the AI, but here in Kenya we have a lot of good AI technicians, so I don't believe that is a big problem.
Angalia, ng'ombe wako wanapendeza kweli. Do you have the exact number, and why do we have to keep records?
Currently we have about 650 of our own cattle, so we must keep track of all these cattle individually. So I have a computer program. It allows you to record every animal individually with its brand number, photographs. You can have the photograph when it's a baby, when it's a weaner, when it's an adult. And for example, if you click on a cow, it will show you, you can click all her offspring. You can see all the treatments she may have had through her life. A lot of information is stored on there. So it's very, very helpful to have a program like that if you have a large number of cattle.
Okay.
Yes.
Looking at your herd, you also notice they have numbers. What is the importance of giving them numbers? So
the number is basically the identification for that individual animal. Of course, we get to know them as individuals, but sometimes we get confused, so it's very important to have that number. We have 4 numbers. The first number is the year of birth. So for example, calves being born this year will all start with 5 for 2025. So they will start with number 5. And then the first calf will be 001. The next one 002, and so on through the year. So the brand will indicate the year of birth and the order of birth during that year.
Okay. Talking of giving birth, at what season do Sahiwal give birth?
Here they give birth all year round because we keep bulls in the herd all the time. Surprisingly, they still seem to manage to time it quite well, which is quite mysterious, since they'll be pregnant for about 9 months. So you wonder how they time with the seasons, but to some extent they tend to give birth when the climate is better, but not entirely. So basically we expect calves all year round. Okay. Because we keep bulls in all the time.
You've mentioned the number, and of course I would wish to know one bull. Yes. How many cows would one bull serve?
Well, normally we keep him in there for 2 or 3 months. If he's performing well, maybe 3 months. And you might find he's serving a cow every 2 or 3 days, but sometimes he might even serve 2 cows in 1 day. So they work quite hard, but they do get tired after some time. And then each bull varies. So some of them are more energetic than others. Okay. Yeah, and sometimes it takes them a bit of time to get used to what's expected of them.
Do we have special feeds for a pregnant cow?
We don't give so many feeds here because the idea of Sahiwals is that they can survive on the pasture mostly, but we do give minerals, and it's important, especially in order for them to get pregnant, to have enough phosphorus. So we give them a mineral lick and salt. When they're pregnant, they just need to have enough grass to eat, really. If you're crossing maybe with dairy cows, then you would be maybe looking for some more supplements, a bit more feeding. But for the pure Sahiwals, the whole point of them is that they don't really need feeding unless you have a severe drought. But they should always have salt and a good mixed mineral. Sometimes you can put it with the salt so that they don't take so much. Okay. But if they have availability of that in the evenings, that's important. So in this conservancy we have a few dams that we've dug, earth dams, and we also have the Wasanero River, so we're lucky. Although these days it's running dry a lot, so it's less reliable than it was.
Ni shamba kubwa sana. Changamoto, zile challenges ambazo mnakutana nazo ni zipi?
Sasa tukuna wanyama wa pori wengi sana hapa. Tukuna ndovu, tukuna mbogo, tukuna simba wengi, tukuna chui, tukuna fisi. So tukuna hiyo wanyama kila siku, kila wakati, na ni juu ya wachungaji kuchunga sana, kujaribu kupeleka hii ng'ombe, kuavoid hiyo wanyama, ile ni hatari kwa ng'ombe ama kwa watu. Na pia siku wako na kazi kukataza hiyo simba kuingia kwa boma na kukula hii ng'ombe. Okay. Ikiwa hii ng'ombe na watu peke yao watamalizwa na simba lazima. So kazi ya watu ni kuchunga hawa. Na ni serious work. Okay. Ndio.
I'm happy with your Swahili. Unapata wapi hao wafanyakazi ambao wanakufanyia kazi hapa?
Hapa tunajaribu kuleta watu kutoka Kenya mazima. Bora ni Mkenya. So we try to bring people from all over. Lakini watu ile watashika ng'ombe sana sana tunatafuta ile wanakuja na experience kutoka nyumbani, at least kiasi ya hii kazi. Sababu hii kazi sio rahisi mtu kushika tu kutoka town na kushika kazi namna hii. Kupoteza ng'ombe ni rahisi sana ikiwa mtu ajui. Naona ng'ombe ni wengi, lakini wachungaji wanaweza jua ikiwa moja imepotea. Wanashika radio wanasema ni kama moja imepotea. Kama wanakosa wanaita watu kusaidia, na wanashangaa vile walijua mapema.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pongezi sana. Let's have a talk about market. Hadi kufikia sasa soko likoje?
Soko tunaona ni sawa. Soko ya Sahiwal ni sawa. Hapa Kenya tuko na watu wengi sana wanapenda Sahiwal. Majority of customers naweza sema ni Maasai, lakini sio yote. Tunauza hata paka Meru, tunauza paka Kirinyaga, tunauza Taita Taveta, mahali mingi sana, lakini wengi wanaenda Narok, Kajiado, Loita, Transmara, na pia saa zingine tunauza paka Uganda na Tanzania. Soko iko watu wanataka pure Sahiwals, iko watu wanataka ku crossbreed na ng'ombe ya dairy, iko watu wanataka kufanya kazi ya beef na wanataka cross na breeds zingine ya beef.
Nikitaka kununua Sahiwal, yes, mkubwa, ndanunua shilingi ngapi kwa ndume na kwa kike?
Okay, so kwa ndume Tuna kupata 300,000. That's a good price that we've received for very top quality bulls, generally the ones I don't want to sell. And somebody has convinced me. We're quite open to negotiation because our clients, some of them have the money, some of them have the passion, and they need to find the means of getting into the business. And that's also for us to encourage. So we're a bit flexible. But yes, the best price I can say that we get for bulls is 300,000 at the moment. Wow. And for cows, maybe in-calf cows or cows with a small calf at foot, we could hope to get about 140,000.
Tuzungumzie magonjwa. What are some of the diseases that you face in your farm?
Okay, we have a lot of diseases, and I think that it's good if I hand you over to somebody else to talk about the diseases. We have Mr. Joseph Okoko, who does most of our veterinary work for us, and he's been here for many years. He has a lot of experience, and I think it's nice if he can take you through some of those other aspects of our program. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Anza kwa kuniambia jina lako kisha utuambie hapa ni wapi.
Jina langu ni Joseph Okoko. Niko hapa Elkarama. Nimejariwa hapa kama daktari wa mifugo, na kuwa daktari wa mifugo kulingana na muda wa miaka ambayo nimekaa hapa, kwa sababu nimeishi na hao mifugo na nimeishi nikiwahudumia kwa huo muda wote.
Huo muda ni miaka mingapi?
Huo muda unaelekea karibu sasa miongo miwili.
20 years?
Yes, 20 years.
Unafanya kazi mzuri sana. Nieleze kuhusiana na magonjwa ambayo umekutana nao tangu uone hawa Sahiwal katika shamba.
Kuna magonjwa mbalimbali ambayo nimekumbana nao, hasa hayo magonjwa ya kupe. Sana hayo ndio nimekumbana nao kwa wingi, na pia kuna haya magonjwa ya kuambukizana kama foot and mouth. Hao pia ndio yamekuwa changamoto hapa kwa wingi haswa.
Okay. Kukabiliana na magonjwa kama hayo kama foot and mouth, huwa unafanya nini? Kukabiliana
na magonjwa kama hayo tunatafuta chanjo, vaccination, ili kuzuia. Manake hao pia ukianza kusema unawatibu utatumia pesa mingi. Sasa kitu cha maana huwa tunafanya kuzuia, kuvaccinate hao ndio. Hiyo hapo inaweza tokea mifugo iwe tayari kwa kujikinga na.
Okay. Hiyo vaccination hufanyika mara ngapi kwa mwaka?
Mara 2 kwa mwaka.
So kuna timing ambazo mnaziangalia ujue kwamba hii vaccination ya foot and mouth lazima tufanye, vaccination na ugonjwa mwingine lazima tufanye. Mnabadilisha namna gani?
Ni rekodi tunaiweka. Sasa inajulikana kama tumefanya mfano Januari, inamaanisha sasa mwezi wa 6 pia lazima tufanye. Manake sasa lazima tuwe tumefanya mara 2 kwa mwaka.
Okay. Ndio. Vaccination ya hawa ng'ombe wakubwa, je, inafanana na ile vaccination ya ndama?
Kwa upande wa foot and mouth tuna kiwango ya mandama tunafanya. Hatuwezi vaccinate chini ya miezi 3. Kwa hivyo kuanzia chini ya miezi 3 hiyo tunamweka kiwango yake kama ng'ombe mkubwa. Kwa hivyo kiwango ya dawa ni sawa.
Okay. Kuna mtu anakutazama na pia labda amepiga experience kutunza ng'ombe katika shamba, utamwambia nini aendeleze shughuli ya kuhakikisha afya ya hawa Sahiwal iko imara?
Hawa Sahiwal afya yao ukitaka kuwa imara lazima apewe dawa za minyoo kulingana na wakati wao. Unapowaona wakiwa na afya hivi lazima wanapata hiyo dawa ya minyoo, na pia lazima wapate madini ambayo pia ni kitu muhimu kwao. So tunawapatia kitu kama chumvi hivi, ndio inafanya hawa wawe na afya mzuri hiyo. Pia kufungulia, wanafaa kufunguliwa mapema, kuwalisha kwa wakati unaofaa.
Okay. Umetaja deworming, huwa mnafanya mara ngapi?
Deworming tunafanya kila baada ya miezi 3. Lakini kwa ndama tunafanya baada ya mwezi mmoja.
Nimeshukuru sana. Maelezo ambayo umeeleza yanafurahisha kweli kweli, na nafurahi angalia ng'ombe wako umewatunza kwa miaka 20 hadi kufikia sasa. Asante sana Joseph kwa kazi ambayo mnaifanya. Kila laheri katika shughuli zako. Mtazamaji, tumetufuatilia tangu tulipozindua kipindi hiki. Angalia nyuma yangu, ng'ombe hao wanapendeza kweli kweli. Tumezungumza hadi Kiingereza ili upate nafasi ya kusoma kabisa. Tunakujali wewe kama mwanafunzi wetu. Umemwona Bella akituelekeza kuhusiana na hawa Sahiwal tangu alipochukua kutoka kwa babake hadi kufikia sasa. Na umesikiliza mwisho akisema kwamba ukikwenda kununua ndume, umesikiliza namna hela unazihitaji kule. Kama unataka kuingia kwa biashara, basi bila wasiwasi, Sahiwal kiboko yao. Hadi sasa ningali natafuta maji kwa sababu ya kuzungumza Kiingereza.
No, you did so well. You should actually take this whole link in English. Go ahead. I trust in you. Let's go.
Mwacha nipange. Unajua Kiingereza unapanga.
No, but uko unapanga kwa interview, just do it. I'll do it in Kiswahili the next break. I promise. Okay. Do this for me.
Unajua umesikianga kitu kinaitwa dust? Nataka kunionyesha dust.
No, you did so well. That was such a fantastic feature. Did you see those wild animals?
Yes. Kweli kabisa. Ndovu, mbogo.
What's mbogo?
Unasikianga kitu kinaitwa kasongo kule TikTok? Mnyama fulani anakimbianga.
What's its name in English? Warthog.
Yes.
Okay.
Sasa unajua unaniuliza Kiingereza mimi sijui. Lakini nashukuru kwa sababu yule mkulima mfugaji alituelekeza sana na furaha najua Kiswahili hata kushinda watu wengine kama mwelekezi wangu Karo kama.
Really, did you just do that? Such a fantastic feature, learning so much about Sahiwal. Sana ukisikia breeds of cows, you'd go immediately to think about Frisian, Jerseys. Yes. But it was so nice to learn so much about this very unique breed. And later on in the show, we are going to be learning a lot more about the characters that give this particular breed an upper hand. Something else that will also be happening later on in the show, we will be having a conversation with a breeding expert who's going to be talking to us a lot more when it comes to technology in livestock farming. For example, artificial insemination. But before we take the break, of course, we do have to tease our farm joke question of the day. And the question that we are asking you is, what do you call it when your friends encourage you to eat more fruits? Okay, what do you call it when your friends encourage you to eat more fruits?
Unaitwa hint ni gani? Kabla tuende alafu.
It's wanakuge pressure, you get?
Hiyo ni nini umesema wanakuge?
Wanakuge pressure. Please don't overthink it. It's a farm joke. Please start sending in your answers across all our social media platforms, and also any question that you do have for our expert who will be joining us after this break. Talk to us across all our social media platforms, on Instagram at Kenya's Gold. Our SMS line is 22422 and our email is kenyasgold@realmedia.co.ke. See you after this break.
Come
on now.
Naendeleza Kiingereza kidogo.
Come on now.
Sawa.